Like so many people, I was raised by a single mom. She taught me the value of a dollar and also the importance of education. She told me, go to school and don't get out until you have a career, not just a piece of paper. So that's what I did. High school, college, grad school, and finally graduated with my doctorate in physical therapy, along with a mountain of student loan debt. I was working in a career that I absolutely loved, but we were struggling to make ends meet. My husband worked in a restaurant, and as a tipped employee, you have no idea what you're going to be making from day to day. Now, we wanted to start a family, but we didn't have a clue where we were going to come up with the money. To make matters worse, that year at my annual review, I was told by my boss that I was doing a great job, but because of cuts to Medicare and insurance, that I'd actually reached the salary cap. So I was sitting at not even 30 years old, and I had peaked, wanting to start a family and had no idea where we were going to come up with the money. I started to look into other opportunities to bring in cash into the household, but I didn't want to find another job where it would take me away from the house and have to spend time away from my family. I was approached by my friend and coach about the Beachbody opportunity. I didn't know what it was. All I knew was that I loved the workouts, and when I had broken my foot a few years earlier, I had used Insanity to help me lose the 25 pounds. She slowly started to explain what it was all about, and she encouraged me to join one of her accountability groups. So she helped me pick the perfect program, which was T25, since I was short on time, and also introduced me to Shakeology, which has become my daily lifesaver. It helped me lose those last 10 pounds that I had been holding on to my entire life. It also helped me kick my 2-can-a-day diet soda habit that I never ever thought I would get rid of. She also told me to sign up as a coach at the same time. So she had been doing so well in the business, so I figured I would take her advice. So I signed up to be a coach and just dove in. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but she was making well over $1 million a year in just a few short years. She asked me if I did 1/10 as well as she did, would I be happy? Of course my answer was yes. So I slowly started plugging away and building my team and building my business. And I had no idea where this opportunity would take me. Now, I mentioned that we wanted to start a family, but I had no idea how difficult it was going to be. And if you've ever heard anything about fertility, you know that it is incredibly time-consuming and incredibly expensive. So it led to countless blood draws and doctor's appointments and needles and hormones and procedures and surgeries and the most stressful chapter of my life. But when you sign up to become a Beachbody coach, you also are welcomed into this incredibly warm and welcoming community. And this community encouraged me to share my experience a little publicly because it's something taboo that not a lot of women talk about. I figured I felt so alone and overwhelmed that if I shared my story, maybe it would motivate or encourage women to feel less alone or to share their experiences so we can increase the awareness to the general public. So that's what I did. And I have been so blessed by the women that have shared their struggles and their stories with me. It's given me such hope and encouragement during this really, really difficult chapter of my life. And if you know about fertility, you also know that it is so incredibly expensive. Personally, it differs from person to person, but we have spent tens of thousands of dollars on fertility already. And I remember one day I was called into the billing lady's office before I even got to see the doctor. And she pulled out this packet, and the numbers ranged from $22,000 to $27,000. And the first time I saw those numbers, my heart sank, and I felt completely overwhelmed. But when she showed me that packet, I was able to just sit there and say, okay, no problem. Don't get me wrong, those numbers still freaked me out. But after working 18 months as a Beachbody coach, I was confident and able to sit there so calmly because I knew in just a few short months, I could raise the money that we needed. And that was the most liberating experience I could ever imagine. That's why I'm so passionate about Beachbody and about this coaching opportunity, because it's not just what it can do for you physically and mentally and emotionally, but for your entire family. That's why I want to share it with all of you and encourage you to join our team, because it's such a special thing and such a special place for you to really grow as a person, as a business leader, as an entrepreneur. So if you're interested in being part of our team, I really encourage you to do so because it has completely changed my life and I know it'll change yours too.